This is an article from Ranker, and I figured this will be fun to just to hear your takes on these, Sameer, and obviously Carter and Sam as well. This is a list of the stupidest, least dignified ways royals have died.
Oh, love it. Well, did you know when I think it was George V, the records came out that they did this. They sped up his death with a lethal injection that had basically a speedball in it. Because they wanted him to die in time for the classy morning papers and not the trashy afternoon papers.
Wow.
I knew some people that died from a speedball.
Chris Farley, John Belushi.
Yeah.
Well, there was
River Phoenix,
did
all
you
the
ever
good
hear
ones.
Carrie Fisher, I think on Opie and Anthony, she said, we were all waiting to hear what John Belushi, she was like, we were all waiting to hear what John died of, hoping it wasn't the drug we were on.
Turns out it was all of them.
Yeah.
So this guy's number one on this list and number one in my heart. King Adolf Frederick of Sweden ate himself to death. Which is a weird way to
That's
put...
dedication.
Well, it's a
don't
weird way to
believe-
put what actually happened. I would say he ate...
Shout out to Cece's Pizza.
Yeah. Again, we are sponsored by Cece's Pizza.
Shout out to anorexic cokehead Cece who did not die like this.
King Adolf Frederick of Sweden reigned from 1751 to 1771, and he had to share most of the power with the Swedish Parliament, which, God, what a shame. On February 12th, 1771, he sat down for a meal of caviar, lobster, champagne, and more before ordering his favorite dessert, the Nordic pastry Simla, which I looked up, and it is... the Swedish cake rolls, the Little Debbie? That is a redneck ass version of semla, basically. Like these are the real Swedish cake rolls. But he was not satisfied with one serving of the decadent dessert. Oh no! Adolf Frederick downed 14 portions of the sweet treat, and the binge cost him his life. He died that night after complaining of severe indigestion.
Beautiful.
What a way to go, though.
Yeah, that's my as someone who has cared about being thin my whole life, that is my dream death. I was like, just once let me eat like that and I'll go out happy.
Yeah.
You have to think like the person delivering the 12th cake to him was like probably crying, like knowing that this guy was suicidal, and he's like, thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, Kanye West spoke of, jumping out the window, letting everything go. What a beautiful death. I think eating too many Swiss cake rolls until you pop, that's a beautiful way to go. If we're being honest.
It's kind of like Seven. It's kind of like the beginning of Seven.
He's the glutton. Yeah, he's the glutton guy. What would you eat yourself to death with, Carter? Let's go around the room.
I don't know if I could eat one thing until I burst. Pizza, I guess.
Pizza, yeah. Pizza's the easy one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we are all thinking along the lines of CC's. I'd go to at least a Shakey's. I'd go one step up, but yeah.
Baja Fresh. I would die at Baja Fresh.
Baja Fresh?
I would. Yeah.
That's a good one. Chipotle, Baja Fresh.
Taco Bell is the honest answer.
Yeah.
I was trying to be classy and go up to Baja Fresh. But,
For me, it would be fried meat.
Fried meat?
Fried meat.
That's a good one.
Chicken, steak, fish, shrimp.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Magnificent.
Yeah.
Chinese buffet, honestly. I would change it from pizza.
Mine.
Yeah.
That was mine, dude. Go to damn King China buffet somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what, I would do I would do my three favorite cuisines. I would do Punjabi and then Italian and then Chinese.
Oh, actually, that Indian buffet down the street. That's another one. I'd be more than happy to die at
I
India's
make myself
restaurant.
sick every time I go there.
It's so good.
The good kind.
Yeah.
The good kind.
The good
Yeah, the kind where you just lay on the floor of this public restaurant and just fart
You're
for
like,
a while.
well, my day's over.
Yeah, roll around like a heroin addict just on the floor.
So Henry I died after going against his doctor's orders and eating eels.
They're all eating stuff.
Yeah, King Henry I ruled England with an iron fist, but one of his weaknesses was lampreys, an eel-like bloodsucker. Henry's physician expressly forbade him from eating lampreys, but the king paid no mind, and in 1135 he indulged in them while on a hunting trip and died soon after, likely as a result of the eel feast. So,
Yikes. Yikes.
Why are they calling this undignified? This is,
These are definitely like the whims of royalty. Yeah.
These are kind of cool ways to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm the king. I can eat eels if I want.
I got sick from eels.
Yeah.
They don't have Catherine the Great in this now, huh? Because I don't believe that horse thing.
When you think undignified, you think slip on a banana peel, like rake to the face.
Oh, that's the next one. In 1498, Charles VIII of France hit his head on the door while walking out to a tennis match. He hit it so hard, in fact, that he died.
Jeez.
Today-
What a dumbass.
That means his husband was beating him. He ran into the door.
I'm so clumsy. I don't know why I keep running into the door.
Look, it's sad, but it'd be pretty funny.
I'm all broken up about it. Yeah.
Pretty funny to see, right? Like, it'd be real funny to see a guy hit his head on the door and then just immediately die.
Yeah. Only if right before he died, he yelled "Adoy."
Yeah, like somewhere off screen, you hear like, boing.
No. And then just blood trickle out of the nose, and he's just
Yeah,
dead.
there's birds.
Somebody's filming and it goes on a fail blog.
Yeah, 13th or
Yeah.
14th century fail.
Yeah, someone's like painting a beautiful mural of their fail.
This one, and fuck royalty.
Wow,
But-
Rivers.
but-
Great stand.
But I sympathize here with this one. King Bela of Hungary died after his throne literally collapsed under him. King Bela of Hungary was a warrior king praised for protecting the sovereignty of Hungary against the ambitions of the Holy Roman Empire, but Bela's literal seat of power proved his undoing. In September of 1063, the throne's wooden structure collapsed underneath the Hungarian king's weight, injuring him so
Too much
badly
goulash.
that he died of the wounds. I mean,
This is what really happened to Zsa Zsa Gabor, too. That's how she lost her leg. They didn't want to say.
Her couch just imploded into a sinkhole.
All these guys are just fat. It's
I know, that's the
They couldn't
problem.
stop eating. But I can see your computer screen. There's like paintings of all of them, and they painted them all to look thin. Basically,
yeah. This
Oh yeah, it was the original like up angle on the on Bumble. Yeah,
the guy, basically his wooden throne fell apart, and I'm assuming a piece of wood probably stuck in him somewhere and gave him a horrible infection
yeah.
or stabbed him or something
Yeah.
fucking horrible, which
Or he hit his head, or
yeah, something.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I forgot who does there's some famous comedy bit where somebody says, like, every time you fall down, you're surprised by it, and you're like, well, that's the last time that'll ever happen.
I think that's Jeff Foxworthy.
Is that Jeff Foxworthy?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know where I got this, but every time a chair breaks underneath me, I'm like, well, I'm going to be more careful next time, and it still happens.
You're still at Shakey's the next day.
I'm still at Shakey's the next day. Yeah, that's right.
Chairs break from underneath me because I lean in them a lot.
Right, yeah, me too.
Like on the two legs. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm trying to be real cool.
Like, I mean, I'm not a small guy, but I'm also not like. If you just looked at me, you're like, that's not an every time chair breaker.
Yeah.
But I am. Oh God, I am.
You're a chair breaking
I'd be
motherfucker.
You're
breaking
not one of those
chairs.
people, when you look at somebody and you're like, how much do you have to eat to look like that?
Right. Like,
There's certain fat people, I really try to be empathetic.
Sure.
I try to put
Sure.
myself in their shoes and do the math of like, if
Yeah.
I ate this much for this many days,
Look.
maybe I would look like that, and I can't do it.
As this king tells us, Swiss cake rolls taste good.
I mean, I'm sure if you were to see this king waddling through the throne or whatever, you'd think the same thing. You're like, how much goddamn cake rolls do you have to eat?
It's kind of impressive. You're like, how did you do this?
I literally
think
have
that-
never moved.
I think that every time I look in the mirror. How did I do this? I was like, oh yeah, fried meat.
Then you punch the mirror. Delicious.
James II was the king of Scotland, and he started his reign when his father was murdered. The remainder of his reign would
The
be
eating disorder began.
the rest of his reign would be defined by his attempts to manage rival clans, and these attempts were downright bloody. Prominent Scots were killed before his eyes, and his own mother orchestrated the bloody downfall of a rival faction. In 1460, James had laid siege to Roxburgh Castle in the Scottish borderlands and wanted to celebrate by firing a salute with giant cannons. James had long been fascinated with the new technology of war, and when it was lit, the cannon backfired and killed him instantly.
Okay.
So he won the fucking battle and then was like, shoot the cannons, boys, and then died, and that was it.
Wow.
Love it.
So
Just like Wile E. Coyote.
yeah, he kind of did Wile E. Coyote himself a little
Yeah.
bit.
And his head looked like Donald Duck's after it gets like blown off by like Elmer Fudd, where it's just like a little ember that kind of disintegrates.
But the rest of his body is still standing up.
Yeah. He's got to screw his mouth back around to the other side of his head.
Yeah. It spins all the way around his head.
Well, as I'm reading these, it's occurring to me a lot of these royal deaths are, at least in the Middle Ages, they are very Looney Tunes. People eating enough to where they pop. People falling through a chair that was presumably made by Acme.
Oh yeah. To make this list, it can't be like, and this one king died from a 5-year bout with cancer. Like, that's just depressing. It has to be like, no, he slipped on a banana peel and fell into a cannon and got shot into the ocean.
This is another one. On October 2nd, 1920, King Alexander of Greece was walking on his estate when his dog got into a fight with a monkey that belonged to a member of his staff. While attempting to break up the fight, a second monkey jumped in the fight.
Oh, this shit's wild.
Bit Alexander on the leg. The wound became infected and he died. So he's trying to break up a fight between a monkey and a dog, and the monkey's boy was like, "Oh hell no, bow up, motherfucker!" and then ate a piece of his leg and he died from a monkey bite.
This is a real Joe Rogan experience situation. 2 monkeys and a dog were fighting. Bro, you know how crazy that would be?
This is a thought experiment. No, the sheer unbridled power of the monkey.
They don't even train, bro. They get the training from all that fruit. He's fruitarian, like Steve Jobs.
This is the last Bring Your Monkey to Work day, I guess. There's 2.
Yeah, Bring Your Monkey to Work day is canceled in Greece from here on out.
So hard to get good staff.
I mean,
These days,
yeah, why is he doing this himself if he's the king? Should be like, hey, take care of that.
They're always bringing their fucking monkeys into the house. Reminds me of South Delhi, frankly.
This just reminded me. I was watching a documentary about Jonestown. I put this up on my Instagram. There was just a moment where they're talking about the early life of Jim Jones, and they just cut to this woman, and she just goes, "My mother-in-law, Edith Cardell, she had a monkey, and the monkey had hung himself."
What?
I swear to God, she goes, and the monkey had hung himself, and she wanted a replacement monkey, and that's when we got in contact with Jim Jones, who said he would sell her a monkey. And I'm watching. I realized like at a certain point we're going to get to Jonestown, and that's what I watched the documentary for.
Yeah.
But I was like, why didn't you cut this? Because now it's all I'm going to think about. I can't think about the death of 900 plus people when I'm thinking about a replacement monkey purchased from
a
Jim
suicidal
Jones.
monkey.
And then also the monkey hung itself because Edith Cardell was so abysmal as a person that the monkey would
There was
rather...
a few years ago, an English friend of mine told me there was a big news story in the tabs out there a few years ago. Ghost of Jacko bummed my monkey. Somebody thought the ghost of Michael Jackson ass fucked their pet monkey.
I mean, it's plausible.
Yeah. What proof have they? I gotta hear.
Should have put that in Leaving Neverland.
Yeah, I was have a whole section with the 2 guys, and then
It's just like the monkey's. Yeah, the monkey's just like shaky-handed smoking a cigarette. It's just like, but it's all in like subtitles. It's like,
oh, good. They've preserved this forever on pressreader.com. I loved it. He may have been dead almost 4 years, but Michael Jackson's remains pop culture's most controversial figure. And his reputation for the outlandish grew last night when an enraged pet owner revealed that his monkey had been bummed by the ghost of the late prancing pedophile. Wow.
Of all the accusations thrown at Michael, I think he can beat this charge.
His ghost did not, in fact, fuck a monkey.
No.
Oh, wow.
In fact, it sounds like a pretty obvious cover-up for that guy just fucking his own monkey. No, Michael Jackson's ghost did it.
The quote from Brian Clowes, who is the Primate's owner, quote, "If I could get my hands on the ghost of Michael Jackson right now, I'd wring his perverted neck."
But I guess we can because he's dead, so I guess it's not really an issue anymore.
He's a vapor.
Brian Klaus, we need to, keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
This last one, I think I saved the best for last. Sigurd Eysteinsson was a prominent Viking king who ruled Scotland's Orkney Islands in the 9th century. Eysteinsson handily defeated Malbrecht and severed his head and attached it to his saddle as he fled the battlefield. The motion of the horses galloping, however, caused one of Malbrecht's long teeth to scratch Eysteinsson's leg, and the wound would become infected and he would die because of it.
Man.
So he had his enemy's head on the saddle and then apparently cut him with his tooth. And
That's really like, that's a poem.
That's like a, yeah.
That's a poem about hubris. That's
yeah,
like
yeah, that's what they.
You're making like little hand puppets out of your enemy's head. Like, oh, I'm a dumbass.
and then you get a blood infection.
Yeah. Oh, look at me. I didn't expect this attack. And then you accidentally bite yourself.
After every one of these, I can see the computer screen. There's like a voting thing, and it says, "Was this a silly way to die?" Was it silly that he fucking died over 6
Yeah.
years?
Was it silly? Yeah, they should have that poll at funerals. Now, was it a silly way to die?
Yeah.
Well, everybody in India is always dying all the time. I've been like I've been preoccupied with India because I'm going in a month, but I was at a funeral in Delhi. Pallbearing. I never knew the guy when he was alive, but I was pallbearing because they just get the men of the family, which I like nominally am. But everybody is always dying all the time, so everybody is so casual.
Yeah.
And so I looked across the night before the funeral, which was the day the guy died. I was saying to my cousins, I'll go to this funeral, but I have nothing to wear. I didn't bring a suit or anything. And they all burst into laughter. My cousin's wife, who was wearing PJs and a hoodie, was like, "I'm fucking wearing this." And she did. And everybody was dressed like that. And I look across, the guy we have set him alight. We have built the pyre and set him alight. And I'm looking across the fire, and my cousin is there in a Garfield t-shirt that says "allergic to bullshit."
They just have marshmallows on a stick.
That's the classic Casual Friday t-shirt. You guys have a shirt that says "Who farted" or something. Oh my god! Allergic to bullshit.
A pallbearer was wearing this.
I love that because it's like when you go to a wedding here, there's always like the drunk uncle or drunk cousin where you're like, "Listen, I'm not even a fashion guy, but you can't with that." Like
it's like, I understand. You gotta dress up more than a tuxedo t-shirt.
I had a friend who had a wedding,
but at this funeral, everybody was like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
I looked like what does he think of himself in a shirt with a collar?
I was at a wedding in Atlanta in November, so it's freezing outside, and one of the drunk cousins showed up. He didn't have black shoes, so instead of just doing what we all do, which is going to Walmart, buying a cheap pair, keeping the receipt, and then returning them after the wedding, which is what I did. Shout out to my friend Kevin Blicker. Congratulations on your marriage. I did exactly that for his wedding a couple weeks ago. Instead of just doing
you didn't scuff them up?
No, I only had them on for like 3. I bought them right before the ceremony. Was careful to avoid
and you didn't
puddles.
Dance, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I danced a little bit, but not enough to scuff them,
Yeah.
And then just wiped them off with a paper towel, put them in the box, and returned them to Walmart before the after party. Like on my way to the after party, the Walmart was right near the venue. But instead of doing that, Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, Rivers, I love you.
It was. Shout out to Mountain Brook Walmart there.
I like that you danced a little bit too. I'm
A little
curious.
bit. Yeah. Well, you know.
Any reason to go to Walmart?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, instead of doing that, my friend's drunk cousin showed up with. He didn't have black shoes, but he did have black Tiva sandals. So he wore those with black socks. To the wedding, and I was like, this guy, and Tweety Bird tie, fucking
Nice.
great. But yeah, so that's that is a shout out to Ranker, the stupidest, least dignified way his royals have died. So, man,
There's got to be worse ones. There will
Yeah.
be. Chuck is not going to have a better death than any of these. Prince Charles.
yeah.
He's not,
How's he gonna go? Let's go one by one. What's Liz gonna
one
look
by
like?
one through the. No, this is going to go well.
Yeah,
think.
it won't be anything flashy. It'll just be like, oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. It'll be like George.
Cancer. Just normal.
No.
Yeah.
She'll, you know,
You keep hearing, the queen can't go to this thing. She's got a heavy cold, and you think now it's the end. What 90-year-old comes back from a heavy cold? And then she comes back.
yeah.
She is trying so hard to fucking outlive her son.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
trying
yeah.
so because Chuck, he's like the English Tory spelling. His whole career is waiting for his mother to die so he can get the money, and
She won't have it. She won't have it.
she won't. Yeah, Candy Spelling is our Queen of England, and it won't happen. She won't. How has Philip not died?
Yeah. Philip's still around.
I love him. I love him when he's talking about us putting bones through our noses. I love him.
Oh God.
Who is that? He loves the old colonies.
Yeah. Does he get around to India much?
He has. He probably fucked his way around there a little bit. He was very handsome in the old days.
How do you think Harry's gonna go?
Meghan is going to leave him for somebody with real power someday.
Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense.
For somebody who once Charles destroys the monarchy, I don't think the monarchy is going to survive him. He can't. No, because the point of the monarchy was what everybody says, which I actually agree with. It's like it's a connect with your history and your tradition and the regality of it. Who was going to look at Prince Charles and think that?
I got to live under the reign of Prince Charles.
Yeah.
And it'll end after he gets shot out of a cannon into shark-infested waters or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, or his throne breaks and a stick goes up his ass and kills him.
Even William. I mean, remember when they went on TV and talked about, mental illness? Fuck off. You're the royals. You can't be... Bite your lip and have a gin and tonic and deal with it. That stiff upper lip thing is gone.
Yeah.
There was a great thing in Noel Coward's diary, and during the Blitz, he went to the Savoy Hotel, which has my favorite bar in the world. But he went and he was like playing the piano with the singer, and everybody was in there having a party and having a good time, and the Blitz was going on outside.
Yeah.
And the door, they could feel the door shaking, and I think the door came off its hinges at one point, and they could feel the wall shake. They could hear it going on outside, and everybody just kept singing and partying and doing. And his description of this was, everybody's behavior absolutely magnificent. Better than gallant. Only wish the Americans could see this. That was the point of the English, Rich.
The first time I met Jim Jones was Easter 1953. My mother-in-law, Edith Cardell, had a monkey and it hung itself, and she wanted to replace the monkey, so she looked in the Indianapolis Star, and in that Indianapolis Star was Jim Jones's ad that he had some monkeys to sell. So it was through that she met Jim Jones and came back saying that he'd invited her to church this next Sunday.